All right, Huntersville is one of the most searched areas in all of Lake Norman, but it's not exactly what you think. Now, most people are shocked when they get here and they realize that their Monday to Friday is not exactly what they had expected. In this video, we're gonna break down what no one is actually telling you about what it's like to live in Huntersville, North Carolina. Let's get into it. All right, number one, and that is that Huntersville isn't just one place. It's actually like 4 different lifestyles mixed into one town. Now, the truth is that when a lot of people think about Huntersville, the first thing they think of is the Birkdale Village. And yes, the Birkdale Village is one of those lifestyles in Huntersville. But we also have the Gilead area, which is more of that older Huntersville feel. You see a lot of ranch homes. It's a little bit closer to downtown. You have the Mount Holly side of Huntersville, which has a little bit more space. It's a little bit more spread out. And in that area, you're gonna see different commute times as well. All right, and then lastly, there are pockets near the lake, near both Cornelius and moving towards the west, near Denver. And Huntersville doesn't just touch Lake Norman. It also has Mountain Island Lake on the west side of the city as well. So there are 4 different distinct pockets within Huntersville, North Carolina. So if you're looking at Huntersville, it's best to look at all of these different areas within Huntersville, find a spot that works for you and for your family, and then decide on what house to buy from there. All right, let's move into the next one. And real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name is Austin and I make videos about what it's like to move to or live in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina, and I would love the opportunity to earn your business. All right, let's get into number 2, and that is that the Lake Norman access within Huntersville is not as much as you would expect. And the truth is, being this close to Lake Norman, you're not always gonna have great access to Lake Norman. Now, a lot of Huntersville is spread out. Huntersville is probably one of the most spread out towns. Now, you do have a little bit of Huntersville that touches Lake Norman, and there you're gonna find things like Blythe Landing. Blythe Landing is a park, and it also is a big park here for launching boats, right? So if you're big into going out on the lake, you do not need to live on the lake to still enjoy that lake access. And again, just being this close to the lake doesn't automatically mean you are going to be using the lake either. It is like a 25 to 35 minute process if you plan on bringing your boat out onto the water, all right? And there is limited lakefront property within Huntersville as well. All right, let's move into number 3. All right, number 3, and that is that the commute is probably the number one thing that surprises newcomers to Huntersville. Now, the thing with that is that Huntersville is very big. There are different pockets within Huntersville that will change your commute time. Now, if you are already close to I-77, you could be down to Uptown Charlotte in about a 20-minute time. All right, now, that is fantastic if you do plan on working in Charlotte and living in Huntersville. Now, there are other parts of Huntersville, say on the far east side where you're further away from the major highways, where you could find yourself having maybe a 35, upwards of 40-minute drive going down into Charlotte. So where you decide to live within the city of Huntersville itself is also going to play a major part in how long it takes you to commute. Now, the main artery for commuters is I-77. And if you talk to the locals here, I-77 is probably the worst highway along the Lake Norman area. Now, I-77 also does have an express lane. So if you are a commuter, you could find yourself just taking that express lane. Can get a little pricey. I'm talking about $4 or $5 every 2 or 3 miles. But if you have a short commute into Charlotte, it's not really that bad. All right, so if you are a daily commuter, that daily quality of life can play a big part depending on what part of Huntersville you decide to move into. So just keep that in mind. Let's move into the next one. Real quick, I hope you are enjoying this video. as much as I love making these videos, I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of North Carolina. So if you have any real estate needs, I'd love to help. That number that is popping up below, I am the person that answers every phone call, every text message, and every email. All right, with that being said, let's get back into the video. All right, number 6, and that is that there is a lot of growth in Huntersville. It is not slowing down, and it is reshaping how the city feels. So the truth is here that a lot of people used to move to Huntersville for that perfect balance, all right? You were outside of the city, you had nice wooded areas, access to the lake, and a decent amount of shopping. But what we're really seeing now is that a lot of that growth is really, it's expanded Huntersville in a good way, in my opinion, but it's starting to feel a lot less like that comfortable, slower vibe outside of Huntersville. And it's starting to feel more like just a big suburb of Charlotte. Now, one of the big things that makes it feel that way, I would say, is the Birkdale Village. And if you're not familiar with the Birkdale Village, it is a massive outdoor shopping area. I'm talking hundreds of shops, some great restaurants, and on Fridays and Saturdays, it gets crazy busy. And nice little fun thing that they do November to January, there actually is a nice little skating rink, ice skating rink in the center of the Birkdale Village. All right, now in the Birkdale Village, this is not just a place where people from Huntersville go to shop. You get people coming from Charlotte, from Cornelius, Davidson, Denver on the west side of Lake Norman, all the way up to places like Statesville. People are coming down to the Birkdale Village for a day. They're gonna do some shopping, grab some food with the family, or just going out with some friends. And you're gonna see it gets incredibly busy, a little chaotic in my opinion, on the weekends at the Birkdale Village. Now, I will say that the growth is a good thing if what you're looking at is your property value, because as places like Huntersville grow, with all of that growth in mind, there tends to be a good value for your investment in your home in Huntersville. So take the good with the bad. If you plan on moving there for that relaxed vibe, you may have it for a little bit, but you're starting to transition into more of a Charlotte suburb. And that town that you see today may not be what it feels like in a year or 2 or 5 years from now. So keep that in mind. Let's move into the next one. Our next one here kind of just piggybacks off of a few of the points we've already made, all right? That is that the convenience of Huntersville, the convenience with both its location and with its amenities, is both a blessing and a curse. All right, now Huntersville is a magnet for people that are running errands, both within the city and outside of the city as well. I talked earlier about people from all the way up in Statesville, which is on the north side of Lake Norman. These folks come all the way down to the Birkdale Village, to these other shopping areas within Huntersville to run a lot of their errands. And you may be thinking, hey, I'll just buy a house in Huntersville. All right, it's super convenient, but convenience might also mean, or at least feel like it is just always busy in Huntersville. So if what you're looking for is quiet, there are certainly pockets of that within Huntersville, but you are starting to run out of those areas. And if what you're looking for is something walkable, if you are near that Birkdale Village, that is going to be a great area for walkability. However, other than that, there's not really a walkability area in Huntersville. So just keep that in mind. All right, that is 5 things that no one tells you about living in Huntersville. I hope you got some value out of this video. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing, as I do drop 2 videos every week, twice a week, every week, on what it's like to move to or just live in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina. And again, as much as I love making these videos, I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of North Carolina. So that number that is popping up below, this is my day-to-day, all right? I am the person that answers every phone call, every text message, and every email. So if there's anything I could do, I'd love to help. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you in the next one.